All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem B'chak. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. I'm your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson, Lord's will. This is edifying to the Lord's elect. I'm going to look into the news real quick, see what's going on. It says, Epstein files, who and what are in the documents? Let's see what's in there. Let's see. It says the U.S. Justice Department has released an initial tranche of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. The documents, which include photos, videos, and investigative documents, were highly anticipated after Congress passed a law mandating the files be released in their entirety by Friday. However, Democrats and some Republicans accused the Department of Justice, DOJ, of violating its legal obligations after it said it would not be able to release all the documents by the deadline. Many details in the thousands of files have also been heavily redacted. So let's see what this word redacted means. Heavily redacted. What the hell does that mean? Edited for publication. Why don't you publicize wickedness, man? Let's see who's on this list. They don't want to show you who's on the list because Esau's on the list. Okay, a bunch of Edomites, man. It's probably all Edomites too. That's the you know, your elites right there. That's what they do. They compromise themselves in order to be in positions like that. You know, they want to be they want to make sure they got some dirt on you in order for you to be in these you know, sit in these meetings and shit, because if you ever do something and try to whistle blow about the shit that you see, they'll just say, look, he eats human feces. This dude wasn't right. No way. You can't listen to him. So that's why they like people like that. Okay, and that's why you see these things that are going on in the world today because of that same thing. Let me grab this in the book of Proverbs 29. These are Edomites. These are heathen nations. This is what they like to do. Proverbs 29. I'll start at the top. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. Yeah, he that often being reproved, you're constantly being reproved by the men of the Lord. Okay, because they're telling you the truth, you don't want to accept it, and therefore you're going to be destroyed. You're going to be destroyed because you can't accept the truth. And it is what it is, man. You don't want to accept the truth, man. You probably need to die anyways, man. You probably a reprobate anyways. You'll vote for these type of people. You'll fight for these type of people. So why not die for these type of people? That's what should happen to you. It tells you in the book of I always forget this precept, man. No, I don't. I got it. Proverbs 11. Proverbs 11. Let me grab that. Proverbs 11. Verse 21. It says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So even though you join hands with these people, they're not going to be unpunished, and you're not going to be unpunished for following them. Okay, so but you want to harden your neck, you don't want to repent. It is what it is. It tells you in the book of Zechariah 13:8 that 2/3 of the nation of Israel shall be cut off and die. This is the book of Amos 5:10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. So they hate the men of the Lord. They hate when they hear the words of the Lord. They want you to stop. They want you to prophesy lies to them. But no, we're going to tell you the truth. We're going to slay you with the truth. And ultimately until the point where you actually get slain by the Lord. Okay, this is the book of 1 Samuel. Let's jump over there real quick. 1 Samuel chapter 2. 1 Samuel chapter 2. I'll start at 22. Now Eli was very old and heard all that his sons did unto all Israel, and how they lay with women that assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So, you know, Eli's sons were wicked. They were supposed to be maintaining the priesthood, but they were going off. You know, the Lord wasn't, he don't care if you a priest, man. He'll put your ass to death. 1 Samuel 2 verse 23, and he said unto them, why do ye such things? For I hear of your evil dealings by all this people. So the Lord knows what you're doing, man. He's always watching you. 1 Samuel 2 verse 24, nay, my sons, for it is no good report that I hear ye make the Lord's people to transgress. If one man sin against another, the judge shall judge him. But if a man sin against the Lord, who shall entreat for him? Notwithstanding, they hearken not unto the voice of their father, because the Lord would slay them. Okay, so the Lord would slay you, man. And who's gonna entreat for you? Who's gonna entreat for you, man? If the Lord's gonna come after your ass, nobody. Okay, it's a rhetorical question. Let me get this in the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 24. Proverbs 1, verse 24. It says, because I have called and ye refuse, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. So he called by sending his prophets on the highways and hedges whenever they go out there, whenever the Lord put the spirit on them to go prophesy the downfall of this place, and you don't listen. That's your problem. That's a problem for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. It tells you in the book of, I think Jeremiah, the 4th chapter. Let me go there. It tells you, the Lord told you, man. Lord told you, it ain't gonna be no excuse when he kills your ass too. Jeremiah 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. You talk to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, they're stupid as hell. You talk about the Lord, they don't know shit. Hey, did you know this? You know salvation's of the Jews? What's a Jew? What's salvation? Who's the Lord? They don't know nothing, man. Nah, God loves everybody. God is every single color in the book. Stupid asses. First, Proverbs chapter 1, verse, as a matter of fact, let me jump over here to the book of Isaiah 65 and verse 12 real quick. Let's grab that real quick. Isaiah 65 and verse number 12. It says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Yeah, you chose that wherein he delighted not. And he definitely doesn't delight in Esau, Edom. He hates Esau, and you delight in being next to him, serving him. Isaiah 66 and 4. I also will choose their delusions, and will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear, but they did evil before my eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not. So he told you, man. You want to choose in which he delights not. So he gonna choose he gonna give you a delusion, and he gonna give you up to it, and he gonna put your ass to death for it. Jeremiah 7 verse 13. And now because ye have done all these works, saith the Lord Yahweh, and I spake unto you, rising up early and speaking, but ye heard not, and I called you, but ye answered not. So you answered not. Jeremiah 7 verse 25. You don't listen to the Lord. Telling you to repent, telling you to seek him 10 times more now that he may be found. And what do? You just sit on your ass and you don't do shit. Jeremiah 7 verse 25. Since the day that your fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt unto this day, I have even sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, daily rising up early and sending them. Yet they hearken not unto me, nor incline their ear, but hardening their neck, they did worse than their fathers. Exactly. So the nation of Israel has done worse than their fathers. And this is back then. So how much more transgressions have you multiplied to yourself all the way up to this point? Proverbs 1 verse 25. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. So they hate hearing the words of the Lord. Going back to Amos 5 and 10. You don't want none of his reproof. Okay? But the Lord gonna give you the reproof anyways, whether you like to hear it or not. Psalms chapter 107 and verse number 11. You don't got to hear the words of the Lord. Today might be your last day though. Psalms 107 and 11. Because they rebelled against the words of God and contemned the counsel of the Most High, therefore he brought down their heart with labor. They fell down, and there was none to help. So you ain't going to have any help when your ass fall this time around. Proverbs 1 verse 30. They would none of my counsel, they despised all my reproof. So even the just, you know, it tells you to sin less, man. And you just keep going the wrong way, man. Keep going the wrong way. Keep transgressing the laws. You don't even know what sin is. You know, you're a reprobate. I'm talking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You probably wake up today, you go bounce a ball, you go shoot it in the hoop, you go run up and down the street so you can go work for the so-called white man and work for his, you know, making him richer. You're a fool. Psalms 81 In verse 11, but my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. So you didn't want to hearken unto the Lord. You didn't want nothing to do with the Lord. So when your ass gets destroyed, hey, the Lord's not gonna have any pity on you, because he's this is the pity now. This is the mercy now. This is your grace period now. Exodus chapter 32, in verse number, Exodus chapter 32, verse number 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, up, make us gods which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. So you don't know, you don't trust in the Lord that he's going to come back. Just like you didn't trust in Moses, or you serve other gods. And that's what you're doing. In the meantime, in between time, you should be ushering in the Lord, but you ain't. You don't want to usher in the Lord. You want to serve the so-called white man, Esau Edom. That pedophile piece of shit. Him and his whole nation. The book of Exodus 24. And verse number 18. And Moses went into the midst of the cloud and got him up into the mount. And Moses was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. So you couldn't even wait 40 days. Never mind over 2,000 plus years for Yahweh Shah. So how much more ignorant and wicked are you today? You couldn't wait 40 days for the Lord, and you the same spirits that was in the at that time too. All right, the same damn spirits. Let me see. It's the book of Numbers, the 14th chapter, I believe. Numbers 14. Let me grab that. Let's grab that. Numbers chapter 14. Numbers 14, in verse number I don't want to go too. I'll start at 36. Numbers 14, verse 36. And the men which Moses sent to search the land, who returned and made all the congregation to murmur against him by bringing up a slander upon the land, even those men that did bring up the evil report upon the land, died by the plague before the Lord Yahweh. But Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of the men that went to search the land, lived still. So there you go. The Lord ain't dealing with all of y'all. Y'all gonna be destroyed by these plagues because you don't want to believe the report. But here it is. He sent men that are gonna survive. Okay, which Joshua and Caleb represent in context the northern kingdom, the elect from the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Okay, they believe the report. They're gonna trust in the Lord. Okay, Numbers 14, verse 39. And Moses told these sayings unto all the children of Israel, and the people mourned greatly. And they rose up early in the morning and got them up into the top of the mountain, saying, Lo, we be here, and will go up unto the place which the Lord hath promised, for we have sinned. And Moses said, Wherefore now do ye transgress the commandment of the Lord? But it shall not prosper. So if you transgress the commandment of the Lord, you shall not prosper. Okay, it's for your prosperity. But you don't want it. You don't. That's what's wrong with Israel, man. They don't understand. They won't repent. Isaiah 53, verse 1. Who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? So who has believed the report? The elect. The elect have believed the report. From the apostles and elders on down, from the great of millstone. The great millstone. Yeah, the great millstone. Romans 11, verse 7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So even if you're an Israelite, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to come into this truth. Romans 9, verse 31. But Israel, which followed after the law of righteousness, have not attained to the law of righteousness. That's right. You followed after the law, but you haven't attained righteousness from the law, because ultimately you got to accept Yahweh Shah. Romans chapter 10, verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. So a lot of y'all, You have a zeal, but it's not according to knowledge. Meaning, you know there's a God, but you don't serve him correctly because you don't have the spirit of understanding. Romans 10 verse 3, for they being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Heavenly Father. That's right. You have to submit yourself. Okay? And he said he'll greatly pardon. Romans chapter 1 verse 17, for therein is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. So you got to have faith. And a lot of you don't. Numbers 14 and verse 42. Go not up, for the Lord is not among you, that ye be not smitten before your enemies. So if the Lord's not with you, you're going to be smitten before your enemies. And the enemy is about to come in like a flood. Let's grab that in the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. And that's talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man that rules today. He got a short time to rule, then he's going into slavery. Hardcore slavery. You know what he did to the children of Israel? That's what's going to come upon him. This is the book of Psalms 137. Psalm 137. By the rivers of Babylon, I'm start at the top. There we sat down, yea, we wept, where we remembered Zion. So Zion is Zion in the Hebrew is talking about you Israelites. Psalms 137 and 2. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof, for there they that carried us away captives required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. So they're going to be happy dashing your little ones against the stones. And the Lord is going to put the spirit on them to fulfill that prophecy. So that means King David was prophesying. Jeremiah chapter 49, and verse number 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. If grape gatherers come to thee, will they not leave some gleaning grapes? If these by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Leave thy fatherless children, I'll preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, before they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have us surely drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. So you're going to drink of the cup. Cup of destruction, cup of these curses, slavery, you know, getting your ass beat. That's Esau. Jeremiah 25, verse 29. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, and should ye be utterly unpunished? Ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith the Lord of hosts. So that's going back into Israel. But the sword's coming to Edom. Let me grab this in the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. So Edom is here in America, or the land of Uz, which is in the land of Edom. But that's also talking about America. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So your sins are going to be discovered. All right, so the Lord's going to start searching out your iniquities, Esau, and you're going to pay for them. All right, the Edomites, Isaiah 40 and verse 1. Comfort ye my people. No, comfort ye my people, saith your God. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she have received of the Lord's hand double for all her sins. So she received of her Lord's hand double for all of her sins. So we're coming up out of that. We're coming up out of getting our ass beat by the Lord. Salvation's coming closer to us. Destruction's getting closer to Esau. All right. Isaiah chapter 63 and verse 1. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. That's talking about Yahweh Shai. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the winefast? So Isaiah is asking the Lord, why does it look like you were treading grapes? I had trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. So he's going to redeem his elect. And his vengeance is the destruction of Babylon. Okay, so this place is systematically going to be destroyed economically, and it's going to just deteriorate to the point it gets obliterated from off the face of the earth. Isaiah 63 and 5. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. So he's going to be angry enough to do this type of work. Okay, he's bringing forth the wrath of the Lord. Okay, that's what do you call it? That's ultimately his vengeance from the Lord. That's what Yahweh Shai is bringing. Okay, we want to avoid these things to the best of our ability by serving the Lord to the best of our ability. Okay. Where's that precept? I think it's Jeremiah 5. I forgot where it's at. Jeremiah 5 verse 22. Fear ye not me, saith the Lord Yahweh. Will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it? And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail. Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it. Yeah, you look at the seas to show you the power of the Lord. The seas obey the Lord, and you don't tremble at things like that. He can cause those same waves to come. He used that same natural resource to flood you. Okay, so he could do these things. Isaiah 63 verse 6. And I will tread down the people in my anger and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. That's it. He'll bring down your strength to the earth. Ultimately, he's going to destroy Esau. And if you aren't part of that number, you're going to be destroyed with him. I'm going to grab this in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9. And I'll start at the top. Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 1. He cried also in my ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. And behold, 6 men come from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with linen, with the writer's inkhorn by his side. And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. And the glory of the God of Israel was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was, to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So there's men that got a seal that sigh and they cry about all the abominations that be done in the time we living in right now. Okay, and they got that mark. A lot of y'all ain't crying about, y'all like it here. You like all these extra additives in your food. You don't want to be sovereign. You don't want to rule. You don't want your nation to rule. You want Esau to rule over you. Okay, so you can't be healed by the word. This don't sound good to you. What do you mean a nation that's ruling? You mean no white man ruling over them? Yeah, that's what we're saying. Exodus 12, verse 7. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper door posts of the houses wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden. That's talking about the Passover. Salakia. I'm jumping down. Exodus 12, verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. So you better remember what he did in Egypt. If you didn't have the blood of the lamb on your doorposts, okay, you were gonna be slain. Okay, so don't forget. Don't remember what happened in Egypt. That was Yahweh Shai. He's coming back. He's coming to do it again. Revelation 7:3, saying, hurt not, that's the start of 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. So it's the same mark. That mark of exemption from judgment. Not everyone has that. Not everyone's going to be saved. A lot of y'all are going to die. Why? Because you don't serve the Lord. He don't really mess with you like that. He said he dwelleth with, he liketh those who have wisdom, something like that. The wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter. Revelation 9, in verse 4, and it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. Yeah, only those men that have not the seal of God in their foreheads. Y'all can get hurt. Y'all can go. You can die. But you have not the seal. But that don't mean if you got the seal, you won't die. Revelation 20:4. It says, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Yahweh Shai HaMashiach 1,000 years. So some of the elect are going to die too. But are they really dead? No. They're on the chariots waiting for the rest of the elect. Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 5. And to the others he said, in my heart, in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. So don't have pity on everyone I'm telling you to slay. And they're not going to have any pity. You don't got the mark, you mark for death. Ezekiel chapter 5 and 11. Wherefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, surely because thou hast defiled my sanctuary with all these detestable things and with all thine abominations, therefore will I also diminish thee. Neither shall my eyes spare, neither will I have any pity. So you want to diminish his sanctuary. Which is ultimately the temple, which is your body. So you're going to die. Ezekiel 9 verse 6, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. So ultimately the sanctuary in this time is the believers. Those of us who have this truth, you would be the sanctuary. Let me grab that precept. I think it's Ezekiel, the 11th chapter. Ezekiel 11. And I forgot where it was. Yeah, Ezekiel 11, verse 16. Therefore say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. So that's the little sanctuary is these camps you see out here. Okay. Grab us in the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4. Verse 17, it says, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? So what is going to be the end for those who don't believe the truth? Okay, if it starts with the believers, what's going to be the end for those who obey not the gospel of God? Ezekiel chapter 9. In verse 7, and he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. And they went forth and slew in the city. So there's going to be great destruction. People are going to be dying. It tells you in the Psalms, the 91st chapter. I'll grab that Lord's will after. That many shall die on one side and the other, something like that. Ezekiel 9 and 8. And it came to pass while they were slaying them, and I was left, that I fell upon my face and cried and said, ah, Lord God, wilt thou destroy all the residue of Israel in thy pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem? Then said he unto me, the iniquity of the house of Israel in Judah is exceeding great, and the land is full of blood, and the city full of perverseness. For they say, the Lord hath forsaken the earth, and the Lord seeth not. And as for me also, my eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their way upon their head. So let's talk about the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Ultimately, he's going to destroy you if you're wicked. And behold, the man clothed with linen, which had the inkhorn by his side, reported the matter, saying, I have done as thou hast commanded me. So they're going to do exactly what the Lord told them to do. You're not going to transgress Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai's commandment when he tells them to go. They're not like Saul. They're not like the house of Saul. He's going to do exactly what he set his people to do. Ecclesiasticus 39 verse 19, the works of all flesh are before him, and nothing can be hid from his eyes. He seeth from everlasting to everlasting, and there is nothing wonderful before him. A man need not to say, what is this, wherefore is that? For he have made all things for their uses. His blessing covered the dry land as a river, and watered it as a flood. As he have turned the waters into saltness, so shall the heathen inherit his wrath. And as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, salt, flour, wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. So what that's saying is the same thing he uses for the godly, like water, fire, all these things you could be used for good, but the Lord can turn all those things for evil. Just like Esau uses all these things that are made for good to evil, the Lord can do the same thing. Okay? And ultimately it's the Lord who's doing all these things. So if your ass died from one of these things that was mentioned, hey, that was the Lord. Ecclesiasticus chapter 39 and verse 27. All these things are for good. Verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sword strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So these different angels that are going to be bringing this destruction can come in a different, they're just spirits. So he can send these spirits any way that he wants to kill your ass. All right. It says, in the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. So fire and hail and famine and death. Okay? They were created for the Lord's vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. So they're not going to transgress the word when he told you to go slay utterly old and young, and you know, women and everybody. They're not going to transgress. They're going to be like, this is a little baby. No. Therefore, from the beginning, I was resolved and thought upon these things, and I have left them in writing. All the works of the Lord are good, and he will give every needful thing in due season, so that a man cannot say, this is worse than that. For in time they shall all be well approved, and therefore praise ye the Lord with the whole heart and mouth, and bless the name of the Lord. That's right. You're going to bless the name of the Lord. All right, so just because you don't want to listen, hey, who cares at this point? Who cares if you listen or not? All right, where are we? I'm going to go in the book of 1 Maccabees. Is it 1 Maccabees? 1 Maccabees. Nope, it's not there. Forgot where it's at. Might be 4. Nope. 18. Forgot where it's at. As a matter of fact, let me see. I was talking about this nigga Esau, man. Hold on, let me, I want to see what else was in here. U.S. launches strikes in Syria targeting Islamic State fighters after American deaths. So there you go. U.S. launches straight, wherever he said, in Syria. We'll grab this in the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So the third woe, which is the Third World War, that's what's coming quickly. And he's right at the border of Turkey right now. That's where Syria is located. So I wonder where Erdogan, I want to go see what Erdogan got to say about Esau being at his doorstep. I wonder what he's saying. Let's go to Ezekiel 38. Ezekiel chapter 38. Oh man, Erdogan. Ezekiel 38:1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them. And that's what we're doing. We're prophesying against Gog too. All you heathen nations, man. Even though the Lord's going to use you to bring forth his indignation somewhat, but you're going to be destroyed too. Ezekiel 38:3, and say, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And then when you look at Meshach and Tubal, it's all in the land of Turkey. Okay, and Gog represents the prince of Rosh. Okay, Magog is the land of Gog, so that's talking about Russia. Ezekiel 38, verse 4, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I'll bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. And we're starting to see the Russians are starting to be provoked to go into war. As a matter of fact, right now the EU is trying to take their funds that they had locked up in some account so they can use it against them. So that's the Lord pulling him back in the war. Ezekiel 38, verse 5. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Persia is the Iranians, Ethiopia, East Africans, Libya, North Africans. different heathen nations. Ultimately, they're in those areas now. They're mostly Arabs and Persians in that area, but they all going back into the dragons of the wilderness are coming together, and they're gonna fight according to Second Edges, the 15th chapter, where they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight with Esau. Okay, calls them the Carmanians. Ezekiel 38:6, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togomar of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. So Gomer, Togomar, that's talking about Turkey. Okay, they're going to be fighting. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So they got Russia's going to back them up. I don't know if they're still a part of the EU or not. They're probably trying to get out of that too. Okay, they don't really fuck with you Europeans like that. Nobody really likes you at all. Even Europeans don't even like you. All right, you hate yourself individually. You Edomites, man, you guys are done, man. You almost at that point where a lot of y'all gonna be taking you're gonna be taking yourselves out. I was watching the video last night. Edomite pulled a gun out on a police officer and clicked. Stupid ass Edomite had the damn safety on. He was probably high out of his mind, but he was about to blow this cop away. And the cop didn't even shoot the nigga. Like, all that, oh, that's my brother and shit. These curses are about to be put upon you, man. Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. You see how Jake, they see another Jake, they get to blowing at each other. That's what's gonna happen with y'all. That's what Egyptian against Egyptians talking about. So that hesitation that you got because you still kind of love your brother a little bit, that's being taken away from you. So y'all gonna be blowing each other away. And we ain't gotta do anything. We're gonna sit back and watch it all happen. And the Lord is gonna deliver us out of it all. Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 8, after many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. So land that's brought back from the sword is actually talking about you Israelites. You weren't brought back. The small hat went over there, and now he's over there dwelling in the land. He's celebrating Hanukkah, but yet he ain't upholding the law, statutes, and commandments like your forefathers who fought for these law, statutes, and commandments. You think if they saw the land today and saw all these sodomites, they would probably put them to death because of that. Why? Because they're not upholding the law, statutes, and commandments. Lord don't deal with homosexuality. Okay, and this is exactly what they did not want to happen over there in that land, but it had to be fulfilled. We grab this in the book of Luke 21. Had to be fulfilled, man. It's so hypocritical to be lighting something, and you don't even uphold the law that Judas Maccabeus, Jonathan, who else was it? I can't even remember all those great men in the Maccabean period. Mattathias, ain't nothing like you damn heathen over there. You got kosher pork. Someone got slain in the book of Maccabees for bringing pork to the altar. You telling these people they can eat it because you blessed it. You're a fool. Mattathias was here, he'd chop you into pieces. It's the book of Luke 21. But these are heathen. In verse number Luke 21, verse number, I'm in Luke 20, Luke 21, verse 24, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And that time is getting to that point. So when you're hearing about wars in Syria, and that the U.S. military is over there, it was one ISIS Islamic State fighter that killed 3 of them, so he's bombing that place. He's fucking that place up, which is good. This is good news. This is good news. I think he killed the dude who killed the 3, so he revenged those families. But the fact of the matter is, it tells you in the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter, that the Northern Army would be over there. Now, a couple months back, when Israel and Palestine was supposedly having peace agreements, it's supposed to be peace over there, but when we watch the news, it's just like it's been. The Duck sent 200 soldiers over there. So he's probably going to have to send more soldiers over there because that war in Syria. And there's still a remnant of the previous government still in that land. So don't think they're gone because the president got ousted. They still got a functioning military over there. So that place is that place is heating up. And you know he doesn't have American interests. So that new president that's there, he got people in his land. He might occupy. He don't occupy all of Syria, man. So he gonna have war, and guess what? They're gonna be a guard. Russia's back in a whole different regime over there. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on in that area. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 9, thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, and thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. So that evil thought is going to come into the mind of the prince of Rosh, Gog. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. Now that's talking about America and Israel. Okay? Now you might say, oh, well, they got bars, they got gates. Well, that's actually talking about their missile defense system. They think they're safe because they can block missiles coming into their airspace, but the missiles that God got, they're going to be able to get through all of that when you read the book of Joel 2 and Joel 3. It's the book of Ezekiel 38 in verse 12. To take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish. Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish with all the young lions thereof shall say unto thee, art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil? So now it's jumping because that's pretty much talking about when the Medes went into when they took over, when the Medes came in power. Therefore, son of man, prophesy saying to Gog, thus saith the Lord God, in that day when my people of Israel dwell in safety, shalt thou not know it, and thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, a great company and a mighty army, and thou shalt come up against my people of Israel as a cloud to cover the land. It shall be in the latter days, and I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen may know me, when I shall be sanctified in thee, O Gog, before their eyes. And that was happened when we got taken over by the Medes. Okay, the Medes and the Persians, but it started with the Medes. Ezekiel 38 in verse 17, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, art thou he of whom I have spoken in old time by my servants the prophets of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years that I would bring thee against them? Now it's jumping back. And it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog shall come against the land of Israel, saith the Lord God, that my fury shall come up in my face, for in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel. So a great shaking. It's going to be thermally nuked. Okay? So that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all creeping things that creep upon the earth and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence, and the mountains shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. So that's talking about when the Lord's also going to be participating in destroying these governments. Ezekiel 38 verse 21, and I will call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains, saith the Lord Yahweh. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. So you're going to be fighting up against each other. You're going to be destroying each other over there in the valley of Jehoshaphat. And I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood, and I will rain upon him and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him, and overflowing rain and great hailstones, fire and brimstone. So missiles, destruction. The Lord's going to participate in grinding you to powder. So that's going to happen to Israel as well as it's going to happen to Babylon. Thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am the Lord. So when you see these wars kicking off, eventually it's going to increase to the point where the Lord gets magnified. He's going to get all the glory for bringing this type of destruction. Okay, Isaiah chapter 2. In verse number 11, it says, the lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. So the Lord alone is going to be exalted in that day. That's him being magnified when he brings forth his righteous judgment. Okay, that's how he gets magnified, by destroying shit, blowing shit up, killing, and all types of shit like that. Okay, destruction. Psalms chapter 9, verse 16. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Hikiyan Salah. So he's going to be known from his judgment he's going to execute on you heathen. Isaiah chapter 2 in verse number 12. It says, for the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon every one that is proud and lofty, and upon every one that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. And the majority of you here in America are proud and lofty. He got a whole satanic shirt on over there. That's the spirit. That's the spirit, man. Upside down crosses. It's a demon, man. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 13. And upon all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan, and upon all the high mountains, and upon all the hills that are lifted up, and upon every high tower, and upon every fenced wall, and upon all the ships of Tarshish, and upon all the pleasant pictures, and the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. So he's going to be magnified when he destroys you wicked ass Israelites and you damn heathen that are out there that think you're so powerful. Okay? He's going to destroy you. He's going to bring you to the valley of Jehovah. What time is it? What's this precept? Precept I'm looking for is in the Lord mustereth the host to the battle, KJV. Isaiah 13, let's go over there. Let's go over there, Isaiah 13, verse number 1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. And this is the burden of Babylon. These prophecies are burdened, okay? And when they start to be fulfilled, that's what Esau's trying to get around. He can't get around it. You're lifting up the banner, which is the scriptures. Damn. You're lifting up the banner, which is this word, upon the high mountain, which is America. We exalting the voice, we shaking the hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble. So these us prophesying, they seeing that we out here on the highways and hedges, and what's happening is they're seeing more people start to go out. More people are starting to wake up. So it's going into the gates of the nobles, because now you're starting to hear anti-Semitism. They're using words like this so they can try to bring forth the famine of the word. Okay, so they're hearing it. This is how we know, because of different laws. They want to be more restrictive on the internet. Okay, so that's showing you that the Lord is, he's working. Okay, Isaiah 13, verse 3, I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. So my sanctified ones are my elect, and my mighty ones are my angels. So let me look that up. Let me look that up. Let me just double check. Isaiah 13 and 4. Let me look at my notes real quick. Isaiah 13:4. Let's see what I wrote down. Isaiah 13 Isaiah 13:3. Salakia. Sanctified ones are the elect, and the mighty ones are the angels of the Lord. So I was right. Okay, but we gotta just make sure. Isaiah 13:4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a goat. Salakia, as of a goat, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the hosts of the battle. So he's going to muster them to the valley of Jehoshaphat so he can pour out his righteous indignation. And we're starting to see little glimpses of that, especially with wars in Syria, especially with this kicking off in Russia, and he's probably using Zelensky as like a kind of keep him busy over there, because I got so many wars kicking off. I might as well keep him occupied with you, so I can fight over here in Syria before you allocate more resources over here, because these people are fighting for power. Okay, that's what Esau did, just like what it says in the book of First Maccabees, the first chapter. Let's go over there, First Maccabees 1. This is the same people, man. A bunch of damn Edomites fighting over power. Still to this day. So you're never going to have peace with Esau in power. Book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and 1. And it happened after that, Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. And that's talking about Alexander the Greek. And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. So that's what he's doing today, making many wars, just like an Edomite. And this is the first over Greece. So this is the first time Esau ruled over the whole realm at that time. And went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. And going back to Isaiah 2:11. Now he was exalted, the so-called white man. He think he's going to do that again in this time. It's not going to happen. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. So that's what he likes to do now. He want to take over, make you a tributary unto him. You know, he wants you paying him. Okay. First Maccabees 1 verse 5. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. So he didn't even rule that long. I think when you look back on it, I think he only had like 12 years. He took over all these different nations, took down the Persians and the Medes real quick, and then the Lord just got rid of them. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So he, what he did was, when he knew he was about to die, he split his kingdoms with his generals. Okay. The four, it was more than four, but the four most notable ones were Ptolemy, Seleucid, Lacomaeus, and Cassander. So those are the four most notable ones, but there was more than that when you dive deeper into history. First Maccabees 1:7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. So he had a short time. He had a short time. This dude got a whole pentagram on his back. Fucking telling you, man. And these are the type of people, they'll get your kids thinking wickedness is cool. These are the type of people that sacrifice cats in the woods. Cats and dogs. You see missing cats and dogs. It's because of these people, man. Fucking weirdos. First Maccabees 1 verse 8. And his servant bare rule every one in his place. And after his death they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth. So there you go. Evils being multiplied in the earth. Because Esau's in power, and he's the one who creates all these wars. Because when Alexander the Greek died, he created a power vacuum. Now, what you're starting to see is Esau he don't want to share nothing with nobody. Okay, so Lord's using that against them because that's what he does. He uses the heathen and then he destroys them. He'll use them to punish you, and then he turns around and destroys them. First Maccabees 1 verse 10, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So it's the same type of things playing out over and over again. A lot of you Israelites out there, Christian, you know, you want to make a covenant with, you know, nah, man, I want to serve Jesus. I was watching the videos, dude was talking about how much he loves Jesus Christ. Well, we're gonna see if Jesus is gonna save you or not. This is the book of Isaiah 28 and 7. But they also have erred through wine and through strong drink and are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way. Through strong drink, they err in vision. They stumble in judgment. So that's what's wrong with you. You're drunk. Drunk with the wine of Babylon. Okay. You're drunk. Isaiah 29 verse 10, for the Lord Yahweh have poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers have he covered. So not everyone has this truth. So they've been covered. They've been deceived. They've been deceived to think that Esau is God. And that's who they worship money anyway. So of course they're gonna follow after him because they covet things that he has. So ultimately they gotta covet your spirit. That's why they're willing to do the things that they do. And the Lord gave them that spirit. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel Hamashiach, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. So the God of this world is the so-called white man. He blinded you to think he's God. Okay. And that's why you can't receive the word. It's really because you've been rejected. It's really Isaiah the 6th chapter playing out, but we'll blame it on Esau. Matthew chapter 24. But it's really the Lord. In verse 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So this is how we know this is the gospel that's being preached, and this is how the end is gonna come. But I'm gonna end it here. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, B'chak Wadash. Shalom, Abad Babal, Kwam